Welcome to the Tradies in Business podcast with your hosts Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Divert your phone and grab a brew as Waz and Nic unpack tips, tales, secrets and stuff-ups from guests both inside and outside your trade, helping educate and inspire you to break the cycle of gut-busting and money stress and create a true trade business.
Working sure it's Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. I'm really confused.
And we've talked over the top of each other again.
We always do. But I'm still bummed about yesterday. I thought yesterday was Tuesday, but it was Monday, and now it's Tuesday. But is it actually secretly Wednesday? And I'm just losing a day here somewhere. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I was pretty panicked yesterday because when you said, no, it's Tuesday, I literally, for a moment, you know how you have that moment of fear?
Same. Oh my God.
Some mornings you wake up.
Yes.
And you think, oh, Sunday. No, crap. It's Monday. And you have this state of flat panic until you realise that, no, it is actually Sunday and you don't have to be on site in 12 minutes.
No, I know. You can relax, sit back, get the paper and a nice coffee. You know what else is really important to note for today, being Tuesday, the 30th of June?
Let's just get that straight. Today really is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
What are we getting straight, Goxie?
Today is the very last day that the Tradies for Tradies code will be active and working, and you can have your whole first month free of the trade desk. Now, we've been banging on about this for a good 3 months. Tradies for Tradies being the code number 4. Use it as your coupon code as you join our group and download all the wonderfulness that is Warwick and Nicole and their business DIY training. But today it stops. It's the last day. You won't get it for free anymore, or not with the Tradies for Tradies code.
So, given that today is Tuesday, the 30th of June,
because we got the day right,
2020, by the time Warwick pulls his finger out and gets this episode up, it'll probably be lunchtime. But midnight tonight. Gang, jump on it. If you have been procrastinating about it, if you've heard us banging on about it on the podcast and thought, I wonder what that's all about, now is the time to actually don't even go and check it out. Don't do any more research. It's free, for goodness sakes. Just go sign up. Just go and do it. Like, what have you got to lose?
Absolutely.
Other
5
than
minutes of your time by creating a profile and logging in.
Yeah, some time, and you give your email address to a couple of questionable, shady characters called Nic and Waz. But you've got so much to gain out of that. I mean, some of the case studies and testimonials and feedback coming from our trade desk members is just mind-blowing. For $50 a month for our paying members, which is not you listeners if you take advantage of the code today before midnight. But some of the results people are getting is just, it's nutso. For $50 a month. So, yeah, you can get it for a whole month for free. You can get into any of our live weekly sessions. There's 4 ways every week that you can actually engage with us and get change happening in your business, I suppose. There's resources like downloads. There's cash flow template, simple one. There's a sales process example. There's scripts, how to handle objections, how to reduce the amount of time you spend quoting, for goodness sakes, which was a great thread recently. And all that stuff for free for a whole month. I'm excited, Coxie.
I'm exhausted. I feel like we've been talking about nothing but this for 3 months now. But look, I don't understand why you wouldn't give it a crack. It's free. You can cancel if you don't like it. You don't have to hang around. We won't be offended. We have broad shoulders. We get over it. But why not just invest some time this month, this coming month for you, because you get a whole month for you. It's not our month. It doesn't end again tomorrow. It's 1 month for you. You can enjoy the access, the meetings, the networking, the amazing chats, the brilliant members that we have for free. So why not just give it a go? I don't understand why you wouldn't trial it. And you can cancel. We'll even send you a reminder 7 days before you're due to cancel or due to roll over into a paid membership. And we'll tell you how to cancel if you really don't like it. We've made it as simple and carefree and obligation-free as we possibly can. so that you can trial it. You can see what it feels like to be part of such an awesome community.
So that ends midnight tonight, Coxie. And after that, you know what? You're going to have to pay handsomely an entire $50 a month. Wow, like it's a carton of beer, for goodness sakes.
It's ridiculously cheap. I don't think you'll find, well, I know for a fact you will not find business coaching delivered with such value for $50 a month anywhere else. You just won't.
Well, it's a good point, Coxie, that you use the term business coaching. And I know you love thinking of yourself as a business coach.
Still haven't got my head around that one.
Not. But really, like, people have an idea or a sense of what business coaching might be. And most people will tell you that have had a coach, well, a good one, I suppose, like having a good plumber or a good mechanic, is that it's worth every penny. And so what we've tried to do is what really is not available out there. And I mean, I've been in this gig for over 12 years now, and I know you've been kicking around for nearly as long as that in the coaching and mentoring space. I never found anything like at an entry level for people who weren't ready to get their kit off and jump into the pool naked. They just wanted to dip their toe in the water with coaching. There really just wasn't anything around when I had my different business and I was looking for a coach myself. It was like you're either all in,
yes,
or you're not in at all. And when you and I first sort of hatched the idea of this subscription, it was really to give you listeners an opportunity to dip your toe in the water. Yeah, you got to pay $50 a month. But as we say, there's no contracts or anything like that. And I don't mean for this to be a sales pitch, but I really just want to get you to stop and think about what are you missing by, I guess, surrendering to the cynicism and the BS that society fills your head with about these sorts of things, in inverted commas, right? And it's sad that there's a lot of other programs out there for everything from growing back your hair to losing weight to, you know, getting the spice back in your marriage. And there are some bogus ones out there, but there's also some fantastic programs out there that make a big difference. So if you're listening to this and you've got a trade business, yes, I'm banging on about this. Please take our money. Sign up for free, get involved, and be one of those tradies that you read about on our website if you've read our testimonials, or that turned up to our 90-day planning session last week and they're raving about the results they're getting, not about us. I mean, they say nice things about us too, Coxie, which is wonderful.
It is.
But as I said to one of our drawing board members who's been messaging us privately over the last few days, and just, you know, thanking us basically, but also telling us about how things have changed, not just for their business, but in their marriage as well. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel so happy for these people. And I want that for you listeners. I want you to have that too. Because that'll make me happy. So there you go. Make Waz happy.
I think it's a great distinction though, and a great point of difference. And this will be the last thing I say on this now. I'm not going to talk about tradies for tradies again. There's two parts to this. First of all, I'd like to say that this whole Tradies for Tradie code and us giving you a month for free started because some of our active members were so excited about the results they'd achieved in their small period of time in the trade desk that they wanted to gift memberships to other members, to new people, so they could trial it and see it for themselves. That's how this began. We had 3 members stump up some money and say, here, Nic and Waz, here's some money. We want you to shout X amount of people some free memberships so they can have a month for free and see what it's like inside the trade desk. I mean, how amazing is that? That in itself is a awesome testimonial to the value that you will receive should you choose to sign up and give it a crack. Secondly, so much of what you and I do, like our overarching, I guess, business ethos for you and I is to impact as many tradies as we can in a positive way in their business. And that's why we work so hard to put so much value into that $50 a month level so that you can get all the support that you need if you're not ready to do full-on business coaching. It's there for you. There's a DIY subscription that has every script, every template, everything that you would need to change in your business to create those success results that you are looking for your business. Plus, you get 4 calls a week, 4 opportunities a week in which you can tap into our business knowledge in our community. Plus, you get a group where you can talk to other like-minded tradies who are working hard in their trade businesses as well. Plus, you get access to things like our 90-day planning session. I mean, that's an enormous amount of value for $50 a month. And I don't know, I can say absolutely with confidence, and I'm not even going to beat around the bush, there isn't another trade business coaching opportunity like this for that price. There just isn't. So you'd be fool not to give it a go. Just give it a crack. And then I'm going to leave it be. I won't talk about it anymore.
Righto. So moving on, Coxie.
I want to challenge everybody in a different way,
Ooh.
something completely different off the back of a chat that you and I were having earlier today. And I would like to challenge everybody to make some time for their significant other this weekend. It can be 15 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be a couple of hours, it could be an evening out if you can. But I really wanted to encourage everybody to take a minute and be grateful for their partners in business, whether it be the husband being grateful for the wife helping out with the paperwork or answering the phone or looking for business solutions, or whether it's because she's home with the kids while making time so you can go out and work and do what you need to do, or whether it be the wife for the fact that our poor men are out there, not all men, but many of our husbands are out there working in the freezing cold or the boiling hot sun. They're doing long days and they're coming home and quoting at nights and working on the weekends. I've seen some really negative chats recently about how unconnected many of us are feeling, and I don't want that to continue. I really want our tradies and business listeners to take some time this weekend to spend with their significant other, as much time as they can manage. For me, I'm committing to a date night on Saturday night. Look out, the builder. You're in trouble. We're having a date night. And we've got kids and my nephews will be around on the weekend. We can't necessarily go out for a date night, but I'm just going to make an hour on the deck. We might have a glass of wine and just a bit of time where the kids will still come in and out, but it's a bit of time where we won't talk about work and we can talk about some of the things we're grateful for. And for me, it'll be very much that his hands are blistered and he's got splinters and they're cracked, and because he's working in the cold. And it will be about how much I appreciate that he gets out of bed at 5 o'clock every morning so that he can leave the house at 5:30 for work. It's just a little reminder that he's not alone and that I appreciate what he's doing. And I'll expect some of that in return. And I'm sure he will, because he is very good at that. But that's my challenge for our listeners this weekend, is to make a little bit of time for your significant other to say thank you. How about that?
Wow, Coxie, would you like to wrap up the episode now that I don't need to say anything?
You can have a chat now.
No, I love everything you're saying, and it's so easy to forget it all. I haven't really sort of poured my heart out on the podcast for ages, actually, and I'm not about to, so don't get worried, listeners.
I was clenching.
But for those that don't know, for newcomers to the podcast, I have been married before. I'm not going to say how many times, which obviously means it's more than once. But I learned some really tough lessons about being disconnected from your partner.
Yes.
And one of the words that still just, it turns my stomach and rips my heart out. And it's a word that my ex used to describe how I'd become in our marriage, was that I'd become indifferent. And that word just sticks in my throat to even say it now, because I think about how hard I worked, both in business and at home.
Yes.
To achieve the opposite. And yet, after 17 years, that entire relationship and journey got summed up as me being indifferent. And that was really hard for me to actually accept and come to terms with. But it's been a fantastic catalyst for myself and my final wife ever. I'm just putting it out there. To what's the word I'm looking for here? It's like not curate, but nurture. That's it. Nurture. Thank you.
Nurture's the perfect word.
Nurture a very different relationship. And it really comes down to that connection you're talking about, Coxie. I love that you brought that up, seemingly randomly. And yeah, so for once we're sticking to our episode plan here.
We are.
But we really do aim to stay connected. And when we do drift apart, my wife and I, which happens, she works full time in the hospital. It's pretty stressful. Obviously, I don't do very much, sitting at home here on social media all day, drinking coffee and skipping through the daffodils. It's easy to drop out of that vibe together and drop out of that connection. And if you chuck kids in the mix, and we've got a blended family, so that makes it tricky. It's not actually hard to reconnect. And we do a simple little thing. One of our little rituals is we light a couple of candles on the dinner table every night that we have dinner. And it's just a simple little thing that almost reminds us that we're sitting down to have dinner together. Why not make it a candlelit dinner?
Yeah.
And people come and visit. We've had some friends over for dinner, and we just automatically lit the dinner candles. And they're like, "Oh, this is all a bit romantic, isn't it?" It's like, well, we're sharing dinner with some friends, Why not make it special? So there's just so many simple little things you can do to reconnect. And the one point I did want to add, Coxie, was for anybody who wishes they could reconnect with their partner, if you're a bloke listening to this, if you're a wife listening to this, or a lady, tradie lady, be the one who's courageous enough to give away what you want to get back.
Such a valuable lesson, and critically difficult to do at points of disconnection. However, as you say, the simple act of giving away what you want in return can be a game changer for where your relationship is at right now.
Oh, I haven't found anything as powerful to change the dynamic between myself and my partner. Anybody over the years that I've been with, the 20 or 30 women that I've been with over the years.
People are snorting their iced coffee out of their nose right now, Warren.
It's like, yeah, whatever was. Divide that number by a very big number and you'll be closer to the truth. But you can do so many things to try and, rekindle things or reconnect, and it's all this doing. And half the time, I know for me, Coxie, I've spent wishing the other person would do something.
Yep.
Instead of me taking action, it's like, I wish she wasn't so engrossed with the kids, or I wish she wasn't so particular about the bloody housework, or so busy doing this stuff all the time that she'd spend more time with me. And, maybe the ladies are like, I wish he didn't work so hard. I wish he didn't leave his laundry lying around. I wish.
Yeah.
Instead of actually going, what do I want? And then giving that away.
Mm.
If I wish my misso would give me a shoulder rub because I'm tight as buggery and I'm stressed out, and I just really wish she'd, give me a shoulder massage, best way to do that is give her one.
It sounds ridiculous, but it really works. You just immediately put in a more thoughtful space.
Yeah. And humans have this wacky thing called reciprocity. We feel driven to do good deeds for people that do good deeds for us.
I think it's really important to point out that reconnection doesn't need to come through grand gestures. And I think that when we've been either a little or a lot disconnected for a period of time, it feels like there's a mountain to climb to get back to where you were. But it can be something small, and it can be as simple as you say, lighting the candles. That's something we do as a family every evening. Fancy that, you and I doing the same thing, not even talking about it. But why not just buy a nice bottle of wine on the way home and say, here, Dal, I've lit a candle. Let's sit down, have a glass of wine and chat. Yeah. why not send a nice text? There's so much power in the middle of the day getting a random text, noticing something. Oh my God, your eyes looked beautiful this morning. Or thank you for how hard you're working on the job today. I love that you work so hard to provide for our family. Or, geez, the house looked nice today. It smelled really good when I got home last night too. Thank you for that. It's just one tiny thing. Give away a compliment. Give away a hug. Give away a special small moment. It does not need to be huge. It doesn't need to be a big grand gesture of the limo pulling up out the front and sweeping the one or the other off the feet for a romantic weekend away. We can just have a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, sit and a chat or a text or an email or something, please. Something small is important as something grand. Pick some flowers out of my favourite flowers I've ever received have come from the garden, or even better still, somebody else's. They don't have to be. And I've had some pretty...
Because he didn't bugger your garden up.
But I've had some pretty spectacular flowers delivered to my home, huge bunches like you see in the movies, and they honestly didn't mean as much to me as the ones that were found on the side of the road and picked on the way home. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it's sad that so many of us try and wait until we can do the big thing.
Yeah.
We're looking for the big goal, we're looking for the hole in one in so many areas of life. We don't start so many things because we don't think we can drive the ball all the way from here to the blooming cup in the middle of the green.
Yes.
And so we don't even take a swing. And you and I see that with people in their businesses. They don't start using some sort of a sales process because it's not finished or it's not right or it's not going to take care of every single possible eventuality in engagement with clients.
Yes.
And it's like, just do something little to make a start. Like we've said, find a candle and light it at dinner. Say, hey, let's have a candlelit dinner tonight. Or, I've stuck the kids in front of the TV. Do you want to sit down and we'll have a fizzy water?
Yeah.
And have a couple's dinner tonight. If it's not around dinner, maybe it's breakfast. Maybe it's send them off with a surprise takeaway coffee. Or you know what? I'm gonna give a little champion mention to Renata, one of our drawing board members. G'day, Renata, if you're listening. And she did something really cool in some messaging the other day and actually gave a compliment to me. Funnily enough. I guess the default was for her to tell a fellow woman how great she looked. And then she sort of chimed in with another little, and you look pretty good today too, was, because, men probably like compliments too. And it's like, you know what? We actually do.
Do you know, I could spend weeks talking about this, how much I've learned. Like you, I'm on to not my first marriage, a second marriage for me at least. And
this is a competition where the smaller number wins, right?
It is. I've won. And I've just outed you. But because I'm blessed with somebody who's prepared to be really vulnerable, I've learned, and this is going to shock a lot of women, and for some other women it'll be like, well, duh, Nicole, how did you not know this? But guys generally feel almost everything we feel. They have fat days when they're looking in the mirror and they feel like shit about themselves because they think they've looked bad, or they have days where their self-esteem is really low, or they want to be hugged and loved in the same ways that we do. I didn't know that. I honestly, even with a fantastic dad, I was never taught that men have a lot of the same feelings we do as women. I think that's a really valuable lesson for our tradie wives who are listening. Hopefully there's bunches of them to hear. I could talk about that for weeks. Just reference though, it's just as important for you to get the compliment from time to time that you look great.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I know ladies like to be complimented and like to be noticed. You know what? Give that away.
Yes.
Give a compliment to your man, and he might not do it the first time. He might be a bit slow. Us blokes can be a bit dumb sometimes. We're a bit slow to pick up the rope. But, say, "Geez, you're looking strong, babe," or whatever you want to call your bloke. You don't have to call him babe. But, you know, give a few compliments here and there. And I don't know, I'd be surprised if you didn't start to get some back. And if you don't, just say, hey, this is from Waz, and whack him over the head with a shovel to wake him up.
I don't condone this.
But dudes, if you're listening, hello, fellas, just compliment your lady. Find something nice to say.
Or do the dishes. Or remember the vacuuming from Mother's Day. Go back and do the vacuuming again.
Pick up your wet socks. Don't just leave them at in the middle of the hallway where you pulled them off your feet. Anyway, so how to reconnect with your partner. I reckon give away what you wish you got back from them.
And don't wait for perfect. Just start today.
Love it. Do it today. As soon as you've signed up to the trade desk. Make it the second thing on your list.
Well, there you go. Relationship advice from Waz and Nic, who failed at their first marriages.
No, we're just learning, Coxie.
Oh my God, did I learn a lot and
You're experienced. I sometimes say I'm just a very experienced husband.
I do like that. I'm going to borrow that. Do you mind if I borrow that? I can
Go
use
for
that
it.
very well.
Usually people just snort and laugh at me. So
you're quite good at inducing a snort.
Well, listeners, we hope you've enjoyed our Tuesday episode. This is the Tuesday 30th of June episode, Coxie, just in case we missed it.
Not Wednesday.
Please join us at the trade desk. It is free for your first month. Tradies for Tradies is the code, and try giving something away that you wish you got from your partner. Give it a go and let us know how it works for you if you're willing to share.
Please
We love hearing from our listeners and our members.
We do.
About how things are going for you. So drop us a DM or drop a comment in the group, and have a fantastic Tuesday.
Enjoy your Tuesday, and we will see you or speak to you or listen to you, or you can listen to us later in the week.
Hooroo.
You've been listening to the Tradies in Business podcast with Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Find out more about today's guest, tools for your trade business, and other cool stuff at tradiesinbusiness.com.au.